Hey everybody, it's Kary Oberbrunner, and I have with me the wildest party you're ever gonna see. I'll tell you what, I met these guys at the corner bakery the other day, and I don't think I've laughed that much. And it's mainly because of Chris, but Dean's pretty funny too. Maybe
Sean, what do you say? Deliver high.
Under promise, over
promise, over.
So that was a bad intro, Kary. Could you do that again?
I can. Oh yeah.
You guys are boring.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. We're here for the global live stream of Just Thinking with Sean Patrick, Dean Fulks, and Chris Joseph. Welcome everyone. Is that better, Chris?
That's better.
Okay.
There's no expectation. We're boring guys.
All right. Well, listen. Yeah. You guys are crushing it. This book already, I see it everywhere. I mean, I don't know who you're using or whatever, but this book's blowing up everywhere. Just Thinking is the name. And before we get into the book, why don't you each give me a little 60-second bio so people know that, they should listen to you. So Sean.
Wait. Did you say 60 seconds?
60-second bio.
Okay. How long is this program?
We got 45 minutes.
Because Sean may need about 30 minutes.
Really?
Did you see the bio on the book? We had to put an insert.
I gotcha. So this is what I'm talking about. This is going to be wild. This is going to be wild today, which is great.
Well, I'm going to go grab some lunch. Why don't you go first, Sean?
I'll do that. Thanks, Chris. Beautiful. Wow. So I'm Sean Patrick, and I'm blessed to serve as the president at Finish Line Ministries International. And we're a missions agency. We work in Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe. We plant churches there, train pastors there, and that's a big part of our work. Orphan and day school ministry, secondary school, vocational training for young adults. And so I'm blessed to have worked here since 1999, and it's been a great thing. So that's a little bit who I am, and I've had a great opportunity and great time writing with Chris and Dean and getting to know you a little bit here in the last year, Kary. So good stuff, brother.
Kary, that's the first sentence.
That's the first sentence. That was the first paragraph, right?
No, that's a sentence. That's
okay. Well, remember, Chris, the first time I met you at that corner bakery, we were going to make you a new character called Chris V.
That's right.
Did you ever do that?
Yep.
Did you tell Gary V that he better get ready?
You're going to have to help me with that.
Okay. All right. So, Chris, why don't you go, my friend? I'm hearing this. Okay.
Yeah. You want my bio? Wow.
Amen.
I spent some years on the staff of Athletes in Action.
Okay.
And after that, I've done a lot of things.
Yeah, you have.
I was in roofing for a while, but I couldn't stay on top of things. Yeah, I was a hot dog vendor, but I just couldn't cut the mustard, so I got out of that.
Oh my God! Do you want to tell people who?
No, really though.
You are
after I was in Athletes in Action.
Yes,
I did have a small printing company. It was called Full Court Press.
I didn't know.
And that almost killed me, but it was a great life experience.
Okay.
I learned about business and how not to do it. I made some good moves, and I actually did learn to depend on God throughout having a business. And that didn't work. It folded, and I sold it to someone real inexpensive and ended up going to being a Christian school teacher and coach and administrator at Christian schools. And then now I just happen to be promoting my nonprofit called Court U.
Court U.
Teaching life through athletics.
Okay, great. I love it. It's not a Joshua Harris dating service. Never mind.
Oh, that was pretty good.
You like that? You just bring out the funniness in me, and there's not much there. So
that was good.
Thank you.
Dean,
what about you, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm the lead pastor at Life Point Church here in Columbus, and I have the privilege of being Sean's pastor, and Chris comes too. And so I really appreciate those guys. Kary comes too, So man, I'm blessed 2 out of 3. I've actually, I was thinking I should have worn my Life Point shirt today to give a shameless plug like Chris has done. By the way, your bio explanation was twice as long as Sean's was, so you got no room to give it.
Indeed.
I threw humor in. Sean was his boring self.
What I do.
No, actually, Sean is very funny.
So is this partially why the book's become so popular? I know you just released, but is that why you kind of have comic relief with it?
There is some comic relief. I mean, some of the stories are entertaining, and some of them, they just kind of make sense, and it helps add color to making the Bible come to life. I think.
I gotcha.
The book's become popular. I didn't know this. I didn't.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring it up here in a second, but I think they labeled you, and this is not a joke. I think they put you in the category of like religious humor or something.
We're not very religious. I know that.
And we're not very funny.
Yeah. So tell us, Dean, because this is your third book. Tell us.
I have.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Religious humor. See, there you go.
Okay.
Religious humor. So that's great. I mean, you have other categories too, but we're gonna go there.
Don't ask my wife what my categories are.
Don't ask her. Okay. Tell us about the book, Dean, and why did you start writing another one here?
I think for us, the thing was we were all convinced that God's presence makes all the difference in your life, that for real transformation for our lives to happen, it starts with God's presence on a regular basis. And so we thought, man, if we could help people, what does Paul say? Unmystery the gospel for people. If we could help be part of that process and dumb it down for regular guys like us to spend time with God every day, to create rhythms for developing God's presence and recognizing it in your life. That's really what we wanted to do. So we thought, let's do it for a year and see what happens.
I love it. I love it. And Sean, I mean, we're starting the new year here in a moment, but it's 365 days. So do you have to start on January 1 or can you start on December 18th?
Sure. That's a great question. You can start whenever you pick up the book. I mean, it's designed to just carry you through 365 days, irregardless of when you start. And I think, just to dovetail with what Dean said, I think one of the things that we felt was so important was to put something together that would help people develop that pattern or that rhythm in their life where they just, really just carve out a minute or two every day to just kind of focus their thoughts on spiritual matters, to focus their thoughts on God. And so, you can start whenever you pick it up and go from there. We're going to do some fun things that will start on January 1st, but if you have it today, go ahead and start.
I love it. I love it. So Chris, how is it working with two serious people when you're the funny one?
I can be serious. I reply.
Okay.
And I gotta ask Dean.
Okay.
What color is that sweater you have on? Is that like Dean is from Southern Ohio, bless his heart, and is that sweater from when you were growing up as a young kid?
The color of the sweater it's called Beautiful, Chris. It's just beautiful. That's what it's called.
Is it really?
I thought when Dean jumped on, I said to myself, Chris is going to say something about that color.
It's like seaweed green.
Seaweed green.
Oh, I'm going to throw on my seaweed green sweater today for the interview.
So,
hey, Chris, can you hold up your coffee cup, Chris?
Just thought I'd take a little sip here.
Enough said right there. It's the same color. It's the exact same.
It looks like Dean, kind of.
It does. So,
one thing that I found some people doing with this book.
Okay.
And actually, my daughter-in-law, for one, and my daughter-in-laws and my daughter and some other people, they're friends. They're they're reading a day and just reading it, and then they're texting each other what they think about it.
Nice.
Which is, I think, a good way. They're not just filling in a blank on a Bible study, which is okay to do, and they're not, doing the exegesis on it and all that. They're just looking at it. For instance, there was one, my daughter Madison said, "Oh, my little girl was throwing boulders at me today." And I'm trying to think, what is she talking about? And she was referring to one of the devotions where Paul got rocks thrown at him, and sometimes the rocks that get thrown at us are from the people we love the most. So I guess her little daughter was saying she's only 3, but I guess saying some mean thing to her.
Gotcha.
And the other example that I liked was they're talking about, and they had a good discussion on this one, how, hey, she throws water on people. Yeah, I tend to throw gasoline. I'm thinking, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I didn't memorize the whole book.
Yeah.
And they're talking about if someone's gossiping or talking about someone, there are some people who throw water on it. You've heard the illustration. Some people throw gasoline on it. And they had a good discussion about that. Like it brings up a thought and they text it out and it gets them thinking about it.
I love it. So it's super practical.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit funny. At least Amazon thinks so.
Yeah.
And we just were on your website. First of all, I want to give away some prizes. Okay. So we're giving away some prizes today to the most engaged member. Okay. So this is the Facebook person who comments. Oh, and hey, there's been a lot of people commenting. Look at this. Tanisha says, "You guys are refreshing."
Hey,
would your wife say that?
Yeah, I've been called a lot of things, but refreshing is not one of them.
Refreshing is good.
Let's just move along.
How about fresh?
There you go.
Yeah.
So we are getting people who are liking 365. Here's Montreal. Montreal's in the house.
Wow.
Michael from Montreal. Tanisha does like the mug. So, but
I'll give it away. That could be. I do have a giveaway for you.
Do you?
A little 21 Pilots hat I got there.
Explain, because we have some people here. In fact, I write about 21 Pilots in my book. I'm a fan. So who knows 21 Pilots and what is 21 Pilots for those people that don't know?
Well, Sean knows them. He's talked to them and he's trying to, ask them for money just to buy a new car.
All right.
So wrong.
All right.
I don't know. I shouldn't have brought that up. I don't know, but that's my son. I write all his music and I sing on all of his albums.
Also wrong.
No.
People don't know that he lip syncs. I'm singing.
I'll tell you what. You were generous. You gave me some 21 Pilots t-shirt and I shared it with Beth, and Beth flipped out because Beth's a 21 Pilots fan.
Oh, that's great.
So she's here supporting you.
Yeah.
Just because of that. Good job, my friend.
Oh, Beth Wilson. That's our girl.
Beth Wilson. Yeah. And you have Jeff West. Do you know Jeff West?
Jeff West.
He says, "I'm here to be entertained by Chris Joseph."
I know a guy named Jeff West. Is this the Jeff West that went to Virginia Tech?
He's holding a baby.
Hmm.
So it could be. Does he have I'm not going to say it's his kid or grandkid. I don't know.
Smart man.
Kid was saying at Virginia Tech, and there was a guy named Jeff West there.
Okay. So you have, Jeff West is my 22-year-old daughter's favorite band. So it probably is a grand.
Oh, it might be him.
Yeah. So you have a hat. Are you going to give that away? Should we give that away to the most engaged member?
I could give 2 hats away.
Oh my gosh. Okay. These are great.
I don't like how they're made. See how they're crispy?
They are pretty crispy.
Yeah. It's like that outside layer I don't like.
Okay.
You take it off and then just wear the hat.
Gotcha.
Well, I can give these to you, Kary, to give away or just.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my fulfillment person lives in Delaware, Ohio, so Erica will mail those out to the winner. Whoever wants these, you need to put in which person you like the most, Dean, Sean, or Chris. And yes, this is a popularity contest. So to be considered for the award, the hats, 21 pounds. Now, are those signed, Chris, or not?
These are kind of hard to sign. I did ask Tyler one time, and he said these are kind of hard to sign.
Hard to sign. Okay.
We have other things too.
But you'll throw in.
I knew we were giving stuff away, and it was a popularity contest.
Okay.
I would have had more stuff.
All right. So, folks, jump in with the comments and.
Jeff West says it is me. It's Jeff West from Virginia Tech.
That's great.
Love Jeff. I'm
so glad he's here. So, Dean, what was it like co-authoring? Because I'll tell you what, co-authoring could be pretty tricky. Was it harder than your first book?
It working with Sean was great. It was when it was three of us, it became more difficult, to be honest, Kary. I'm a pastor. I gotta tell the truth, right? I mean,
you got it.
But you know what? Chris came around and it ended up being it was great. It was great. No, you know what? I love these two guys to death. And so we had a great time. We joked around that we really just wrote the book so it would give us an excuse to get together. Really.
Oh, that's good.
We had a good time.
We did.
That's great. Well, let's talk about some of these proceeds, because I'm going to show the website here in a moment. But I see, I know you guys have been doing some cool stuff. What is your big time goal for the book?
Outside of those on the website is Dean's new truck. He has custom rust.
Now he's going to get more in trouble. He's already insulted both co-authors now.
No, Sean, you want to handle that? I mean,
yeah, sure. So we were really excited to write the book for a variety of reasons. One of which was we couldn't wait to help support organizations that are really close to all of our hearts. Dean has been involved with Stowe Mission of Central Ohio for years, and we all love what they're doing down here in downtown Columbus and helping folks who just need help. And so, a big part of our idea behind writing the book was to help organizations like Stowe. Court U is an organization that Chris is heavily involved in. He helps to run that organization. And then, of course, our orphan and day school ministry in Malawi, Africa. 400 little guys and girls, many of which don't have, moms and dads, and we feed them and educate them and care for them and all that good stuff. So between Court U helping to train, young people and give them some life experience that connects with sports, and Stowe and Finish Line, we're really pleased to be able to give a part of the proceeds to those great places.
Awesome. I love it. Very cool. Well, look, people are jumping in here. Man, Tanisha just thinks you're really entertaining. Have you guys thought about doing a movie or anything?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
But Dean and
a road show, some sort of road show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I mean,
I know we got from Chris some of the family people reading it. Has anyone else read it? Sean, have you ever gotten an email from someone saying that they read it or they were inspired by it, or what?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one thing that's really cool is, before it was a finished work, I gave some of the, transcripts and that sort of thing to people that were close to us as a family. And they had a chance to kind of read through, some of these. And as a result, they were looking at it and saying, wow, we've got to get this in people's hands. So we had one guy in the Dayton area, so cool, bought copies for all of the students at Dayton Christian Middle School and High School so that they'd have something to start the new year with. That's how, I don't know how helpful or beneficial he thought the book would be. And that was just from literally reading, 20 pages of it, 2 months ago. So I think it's going to have impact in people's lives. And, And so that's really there's a lot of stories like that are out there, and they're just now kind of starting to come to us. But that's one that really just touched my heart.
I love it. So good. Chris, you're getting asked to sing Repent.
Yeah.
And then sing it in rounds. Is that an inside joke?
Yeah. No, I wrote a song called Repent, and it has one word in the whole song. It's mostly a musical interlude.
Okay.
And I would use my guitar playing savvy. Haven't played it in years.
Okay.
I go down through and
I love it. I love it.
It's a hard rock song. I scream the word repent.
Fantastic. All right.
I wrote that myself. See, that's.
I have known Chris for a number of years, and I have never seen him pick up a guitar. So that would be a treat if that were able to happen. Do you have one
right now, Chris? Do you want to get a guitar?
It's probably not tuned.
Okay.
I don't think it would matter.
My fingers
So Dean, I'm going to ask you about the subtitle, because I know we went back and forth on the subtitle. I remember eating with you guys at Scramblers or something that was, and it was getting pretty wild talking about the subtitle. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember it was getting pretty wild. But you didn't end up with that one. What did you end up with?
So we landed on 365 days of practical faith and hope. That's where we landed. Now where we started was really, you asked Sean the question about his family reading the book.
Oh, yes.
So Sean, obviously his last name, Patrick, he comes from a strong Irish background. And the whole idea of family is it's just a bigger deal in his world. I mean, Sean's the only person on this broadcast right now who's had a stabbing incident in his life. And I mean, Sean comes from the family. So,
and I will chime in here. That's the number one reason why I'm buddies with Sean.
Because he's part of the
stabbed. Do you have any friends that were stabbed? I do. Sean.
Okay.
So that's usually my introduction.
From the family. From the family.
So that's a good party opener.
It's in one of the devotions.
Yes.
It's in one of the devotions where he gets stabbed.
Okay. I love it.
Come on, show them the scar.
No, not today. I can't do it.
No.
I don't have the winter tan would not do well for the scarring on my chest. So
I gotcha.
And it really speaks to the way that God uses difficult things, because the way that Chris tells the story is that Sean got stabbed and Danette felt sorry for him, so she married him. That's the way that Chris tells the story. I don't tell the story that way. I wouldn't say that. But that's what Chris says.
Yeah.
That's great.
I do think that was neat. When he told me that story, I was all in. And that point, I thought, here's a guy I could write a book with.
Of all things.
All right.
That's great.
And have you ever heard Dean preach?
Oh, I have.
He's average at best.
Okay.
But I will say, you throw that little twang in there, that little Southern high twang.
Yeah.
It makes him outstanding. Okay. I tell the people that it's not fair. If you have the twang, it makes you a better preacher. So I'm thinking, this guy's good just because of the twang. So.
But I've never written a one-word song called Repent. So I've got a long way to go.
That's the truth.
One day, Dean. One day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, now, hey, introducing my work. Yes, I work with my father. What? Say this again. Oh, okay. So we got people sharing with their pastors that John's been.
I work with father of Tyler Joseph, a guy who's been stabbed in a pastor.
I think she's like tagging her pastor so that he tunes in.
Yeah.
And there you go. I love it. So I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about your your context. So you got Court U,
Mm-hmm.
you got Finish Line, and you got Life Point. I'm sure that you thought of some of these people in mind when you were writing the book. What do you help Life Point people experience? And then we'll go into Finish Line and Court U.
There is a lot of overlap there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, we have a lot of common friends, a lot of good people.
Okay.
Dean's Church.
Yeah, I think that the thing that we can do as far as when we think about a legacy, to leave a legacy behind, if we help connect someone to God, to take that initial step of faith, and it's one of the critical, I think, parts of the book is that, the primary appendix is a way to share the gospel with people.
Mm-hmm.
And what we hope is that people can read the book, take it in daily installments, and begin to process faith when they have questions and say, okay, that makes sense. God makes sense in my life. And as much as I hate to give him any credit, I mean, Chris was instrumental in saying, hey, we really need to have a solid presentation of the gospel in the book. And so that was really foundational for us. If we can just leave a legacy of helping people connect with God and then take more steps towards him, I think we've done what we wanted to accomplish with the book. In addition to Chris wanting my truck upgrade. So I drive a 1998 Chevy pickup, which is a classic. It's a classic.
Yes.
It has a cassette player in it. And it's still wearing a cassette player.
It gets 9 blocks a gallon.
9 blocks a gallon. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I like it. Also in the appendix that I like that we decided to put in also is you've seen prayer guides. I think some people don't have a prayer guide. It helps me.
Okay.
Having like a guideline that's in there as well. So that's
the prayer guide.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Oh, Sean, what do you hope?
That's a great question, Kary. So our work takes place in Southeast Africa, but what we have here in the United States is, hundreds of families that support that work, dozens of churches that help us along the way. So over the years, I've been, blessed to meet, tens of thousands of people, talking about what we do in Africa. And so one of the reasons I wanted to join the writing team here was to be able to put something in the hands of some of those people who would be interested in it, to help them get to know a little bit about, my personality, the personality of my pastor, and personality of my good friend, while we're able to also share some truth with them. So for me, it was in part an opportunity to connect with the families that I've met over the last 20 years, traveling for our ministry and things like that. And it's been well received that way. So for me, it was a touch point with people that often I just get to see from from a distance or from a platform or something like that. And so that's been a really fun thing to do.
Good.
It is. What we're finding just yesterday and today, I have a couple of friends who were in a Bible study together, and they bought a box of books, and they want to be able to give these out to people who they don't really get a chance to talk to as much as they want to about their faith. So they have those, and I think that's happening a lot, isn't it, Dean, on your end also? And Sean had mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I have another guy who he wants to purchase. I think he was going to purchase 100 books, and there's a ministry deep in South Africa that people overseas are very intrigued with English and the American culture, and using that to show that there's a faith too. So this guy wants to purchase quite a few books. He says he is. We'll see. And to be able to give that to that mission there, because they're doing great work with young people and also with adults in the tough parts of South Africa.
I love it. So you're basically saying that this book is a tool that believers, non-believers alike can read a little bit on a daily basis, and it's going to take an ancient book and yet make it very relevant.
Yeah.
It already is relevant, but you're going to put it through the life of a 21st century person.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dean.
Go ahead, Dean.
You got the Southern drawl. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think for all of us, whenever
endearing to you,
whenever we talk to people about faith, and even in my own life, right, the biggest challenge in most people's Christian life is spending time with God every day, is recognizing God's activity. I mean, how many times do we walk away from a situation or a circumstance and say, oh man, I missed an opportunity there? And it's just because we're not living in the awareness of the fact that God is aware of us all the time, to quote Brother Lawrence from the 12th century. So really what we want to do is to just help people connect, whether that's here or, Sean mentioned, in Africa, in a ministry, there or however we can, just to get people connected to God on a regular basis, because it's fundamental to the Christian life, and it's simultaneously the greatest difficulty that most people have in growing in their faith.
I agree. It's your. Someone challenged me one time to listen to my self-talk. If you're listening to your self-talk, what's going on in your head, or what are you listening to, and putting things in to develop your thinking. It comes down to really does come down to your thinking. Your actions stem from that. I think the Bible refers to the word heart, has the mind and the emotions together. I think it's the mind is a very much big part of the heart in the Bible. What are you thinking? And then connecting with him so that he can kind of clean us out and give us strength. So we can't do it.
All right. I'm catching it. Well, listen, we got to give away the gifts. So we got the 21 Pilots hats. I know that one person who is incredibly active, who will probably freak out getting one, Beth Wilson. She's already got the t-shirt. She's got to get the hat.
Gotta get the hat.
And then let's send it to, this was sweet. May I please say it is beyond heartwarming to watch all of you men be so open and share God's power in what you do. Nothing greater than men living for and serving our God. Just saying.
Very nice.
Our next book.
Very nice.
Is this someone you know?
No, but I like that.
But she's on it.
That's hat worthy right there.
That's hat worthy. So Tanisha, if you can get those two people's addresses, and then we'll ship them out. But I'll tell you what you guys have done for me, okay? Because when you're a teenager, you laugh at kind of dumb stuff, right? All right, is this true? When you're a teenager? Yeah. I mean, all right. So I kind of went from the teenager, like stupid laugh stuff, to just not much humor. I'm pretty serious. Yeah. I crush it every day, boom, boom, boom. But being around you guys the last couple times, I'm seeing a good, healthy side of humor.
Childish.
No, I didn't say that.
What Kary just said.
Thank you, Kary, for saying that. I appreciate it.
He's focused and he's crushing it every day until he hangs out with us.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
Takes him about 3 days to recover.
Yes. All right. You twisted it, but no, that's true.
You know what, Kary? I know this for myself. I just determined about 5 years ago that if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it.
Interesting.
If it's not something that I'm going to enjoy the process or then I'm going to kind of steer away from those projects. And so this was one of the reasons I wanted to work with Dean and Chris. It would be so fun to do this project. It'd be and I think the devotional is lighthearted. I think it's designed for people to spend a minute or two. I like the turn of phrase, it's full of wit and wisdom.
Ooh.
It's just it's lighthearted, but at the same time, it's gonna, get you where you live. And so, so I understand what you're saying. It's kind of nice to have a little reprieve from each day to just smile a little bit and go from there. So
Dean, here's the truth. All right. Back I don't have it right now up, but I used to have, and you can Google this, a picture of Jesus laughing.
Oh.
Do you know about this?
I do not know about this.
If you go into, now, who knows what you're going to find on Google, but there's a famous painting called Jesus Laughing. And me, you know my story, with depression and stuff. For some reason, I just kept that in my room because I thought it's refreshing.
I really like it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of Christians, let's face it, there's not a lot of Christians that know good humor. Mm-hmm. It's almost like this slippery slope, you know, where oh, we can't laugh because if we laugh, oh, something's going to happen. Then we'll really laugh. And if we really laugh, you know, who knows? Mm-hmm. But I feel like I love that, Sean, wit and wisdom.
Yeah.
That should be like a tagline. You should put it on the cover.
That should have been the front cover, like I told you.
Yeah. Well, just
had to throw hope in there.
All right. So here's what we should do, Chris. Put full of wit and wisdom, Gary V.
That's it.
and if he sues you, who cares? It's a funny thing.
Yeah. You show me how to do it, and I'll do this.
Okay.
Now, one thing I do want to point out about the book.
Yeah.
If you noticed, Sean and I were we economized our words real well.
Okay.
Dean filled up every page. I mean, these pastors gotta know when to land the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, he went over Sean's got the bio.
Yeah.
He's got these long, went way past. We're supposed to be 200 words. Dean, why did you keep going over 200? I kind of blame, what was the name of the girl? She did a great job of proofing it.
You're talking about Allison Myers?
Allison. She was good.
She was
good. I think you paid her off to get like 40 extra words for each devotion.
So I think what you're saying, Chris, is when people read the days that I wrote, my days, they get a bonus. They get extra.
Oh, that's good.
Compared to the days that you wrote.
Good.
Oh, there it is.
Hey,
there he is.
Hey, that was the one, but you go back and this is a scary one, man. Jesus laughing wine. I don't like that one. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Are you seeing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but but my point is, my point is,
that looked like Chewbacca. I mean,
was that the lead singer of Poison?
It might have been. Right on.
Oh man,
we won't talk about Sean's rock.
No.
Cut it off right there.
But my point is, if that many artists did something, it's meeting a need.
Yeah,
there's a need for Christians to have that. So, man, this was the wildest. I told you it would be wild.
We're pretty calm, actually. We tamed it down.
All right. I'm going to give you each the final microphone before we end this fun party. So, Sean, anyone you want to say thank you to or a final word?
Just say
your wife and stuff.
Yes, of course. Thanks to my sweet wife, Danette. She put up with a lot of late nights writing all of this. And so thank you to her and my kids. And thanks to those of you who have supported this project. Our hope really is that it will impact your life spiritually, and it'll draw you closer to God and kind of get you into that rhythm of spending a few minutes each day with Him. And yeah, I mean, look, Chris and Dean are great, and I had an awesome time putting this project together with them.
Love it. Awesome. We'll save Chris for the end just because you can't follow him. So, Dean, what about you?
Yeah, I echo what Sean said about, just enjoying the process of writing. And I hope some folks are going to join us starting January 1st. I really do. We'll have a quote, scripture, or a comment every day from the book via social media. We're going to do a brief video every week. And we just hope folks will walk with the Lord next year, make much of Jesus in their lives.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
And when you say social media, are you talking like everything? like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook? Where are you guys going to be?
Yeah, I think we're going to be on TickFace, aren't we? TickFace, isn't that the
Twitch Talk?
Okay. So we'll say left.
Googlegrams.
To be determined.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get it out there. I will. Am I up?
Oh yeah, you're up.
Okay.
Yeah.
These guys are legitimate. Well, Sean. Now, Dean is legitimate.
Okay.
Sean and I. No, these guys are their hearts are there. I mean, they've thought about this. They just weren't splattering things on a page. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we did argue a little bit about putting the date at the top of each one. Because
you wanted the date?
No, you jump around, you mess up, and Dean's all systematic.
Yeah. So he wanted January 1,
He wanted the time of day.
Okay.
Every word was set.
When Chris says we argued, there's one person argued and two of us did not.
So I want to throw a qualifier out there. You don't have to follow the day. God will bless you if you jump around.
Well, listen, I think it worked because Katrina says, I can't wait to get my copy. So if you liked this, you got to get the book because this is only the beginning, right?
That's right.
And if it helps, Chris, I'm not going to use this party as a demo to my other clients.
About how this is a great example on how not to.
No, this was great. This is great. I loved it. It was. You guys are real. You know, too many people try to sell everybody on everything. We had a fun time.
This was good. I appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, thank you, Kary.
Thank you for your time and influence, Kary. We appreciate, man, AAE and you guys getting behind the book. We're very grateful.
It's
Absolutely.
Great. It's great. Well, listen, you guys know where to get the book. Amazon or your own website is justthinkingbook.com.
Yes.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to buy the Jesus lead singer of Poison, Google Jesus laughing. Is that right?
No, just go to justthinkingbook.com.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hey, everybody, we'll see you later. Be blessed. This was fun.